I live below my means. This is what it looks like. My name's Taylor, and I share the imperfections of my life, like how I live in a simple apartment, wear simple clothes, work a normal 9 to 5, and drive an old paid off car. Rarely will you see me shopping for things to make my life look more aesthetically pleasing. I don't follow trends, and as I've gotten older, I've learned that what my house looks like, what kind of clothes I wear, and what kind of car I drive is far less important to me than being financially secure. If living more simply reduces or eliminates my financial stress, then that is a no-brainer to me. But I have to say, I am not perfect with money. If I had one weakness, it's probably eating out because food makes me so happy. But the amazing thing is that even though I spend money on eating out here and there, my finances are still in check because I curb my spending elsewhere. Maybe you love new clothes, traveling, having nice furniture, or a new car. I get it. But the key is to cut your expenses in areas that aren't important to you so that you can spend your money on things that bring you joy without increasing your financial stress. Let me know what you think in the comments, and be sure to follow Imperfect Taylor for part 6 of how I live below my means.
These are some ways that I stay wealthy, and I think this is an important topic because it doesn't necessarily matter how much money you make, obviously enough to cover your cost of living, like, your bare expenses. It really matters how you manage your money, because if you're making like $200,000 a year, but you find a way to like piss it all away, you're still going to be broke. So this is like important. So the first thing is that I live below my means. For starters, my car is 20 years old and has over 200,000 miles on it. I could easily afford to go buy a new car tomorrow if I wanted, but I'm not. I'm running that thing into the motherfucking ground. And having no car payment has saved me so much money. My second thing is that I live below my means in my apartment. I live in my small hometown, and frankly, I do live in my parents' apartment, so they give me cheap rent. And before anyone comes for me, like 60% of people, I forget what the statistic is, but 60% of people like in their 20s or something have their parents helping pay their rent somehow. Granted, if I didn't live in my parents' apartment, they wouldn't be helping me. But I'm choosing to live in my small hometown because it's saving me a lot of money, even though I am making a sacrifice of being further away from my friends and stuff. Next way that I save money, or like this way is I underconsume, is that I don't eat out during the work week. I will eat out on the weekends if I'm doing something social, or like sometimes I want a fun treat or whatever, but I'm not getting coffee every day during the work week. I'm not Uber Eating. I can't even Uber Eats. There's like no restaurants in my town. Like there's only 2 restaurants to eat out from, so I'm definitely not in the habit of doing that, and that saves a lot of money and it's a lot healthier. The second way is, if there's something I want, I like to wait at minimum 2 or 3 weeks to see if it's like really something I want. And along with that, I only buy high quality items. Like I am checking content labels. I want my items to be really good, buy nice or buy twice. If I'm buying leather, like it's real leather, it's not fake leather, because I want to buy like booties and then they last. I just want my items to be good and work for me and last for me. And then the last way I'd say I underconsume is that I'm spending time investing in my hobbies and like spending more time doing those things rather than buying things and shopping. And yes, hobbies are not free, but like for example, my watercolor set, you could easily spend like $70 on watercolor supplies and then have that for a couple years.
One thing my mom taught me that has benefited my marriage so much, and I'm so grateful, is to live below my means. It allows for so much peace and contentment in our home and in our marriage. I am not stressing my husband out about keeping up with the Joneses and about what Mr. Such and Such did for his wife. Not at all. Also, I love to have spending money. Living above your means limits spending money because all your money is going towards the car note and the rent. Speaking of, my mom always taught me the importance of paying mortgage over rent, cash car over a car note. And also, I don't pay the bills, my husband does. So I'm not gonna stress him out about trying to keep up with somebody else. And I mean, I feel like also in that is confidence. When you're confident in who you are and what you're capable of, like because she raised me that way, I am extremely confident in my ability to make something out of nothing and to make the most out of anything. That's how I was raised. So I'm not sweating keeping up with nobody. And I know I don't need much to keep up with anybody. But anyway, this is me telling you, if anybody ain't never told you, it is okay to live below your means. Trying to keep up with people is really a setback in disguise. Don't get me wrong, it's a process, especially as young adults, but do not be afraid to save up. Do not be afraid to miss out. Do not be afraid to invest. Make sure you own something. I had to tell you that because I love you, girl.
Okay, so why is it that the more money I make, the more I want to downsize my life? And it's not even because we're tight with money. If anything, I've tripled, quadrupled my salary in the past 4 years. And combined with Stan's salary, we make a pretty good amount of money in the Bay Area. I just sold my Louis Vuitton backpack, not because I needed to, but because I just wanted to sell it and get rid of it because I felt like I didn't need it anymore. We moved out of our San Francisco apartment where we were paying $5,400 a month to somewhere cheaper. And I'm actually thinking about selling my Lexus because I don't need a luxury car. I just need a car that will get me from point A to point B. I really think it's because it gives me so much joy being able to put money into my savings, my investment accounts, maximizing my retirement accounts, and just seeing those accounts grow due to compound interest. Like, I love it. And honestly, all I want to spend my money on is traveling. Like, I want to travel the world, on food because I love food, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's how I feel with money right now. I don't know.
I think there's a large misconception about saving money. People get really worried about like their iced coffees or like the clothes that they're buying and all that type of stuff, and they completely gloss over everyday expenses. Controlling your spending habits is a very important part of saving money, but you also have to look at your monthly and like regular everyday expenses. This is your rent or your mortgage, your utilities. What does your grocery bill look like? What is your car payment? Like, what is your gas? Those are the major factors that attribute to whether you're living below your means or not. Like, take the laundry detergent that I make, for example. You know, groceries was a bill that I was just tired of like wincing when I paid. And so I looked and I was like, what's costing so much? Like, what is making this so expensive? And it was like disposables. It was the things like detergent, like $16, $20 a bottle is ridiculous. So it's stuff like that, like hacking your way into not paying as much, like paying attention to where you live and like what premiums are you paying for convenience rather than things that you can do for yourself or that are easy to swap and stuff like that. I got started with like money saving tips and little life hacks because I was just trying to pay attention to what was costing me the most money in everyday life that was making my monthly expenses way too high or higher than I was comfortable with. I just kept asking myself, how can I hack my way into a cheaper life without giving up my standard of living?
I'm gonna hold your hand so tight when I say this. You do not have an income problem, you have a spending problem. You can make all the money in the world. Matter of fact, when I was making the most money I ever made in my life, going from like 40K a year to 120, 130K a year, I was the most broke I had ever been, because I made every wrong mistake you could ever make when you start making money, and that has inflated my lifestyle. I got a brand new car, I got a really nice apartment that was way more than I could afford, but again, I justified it. I gaslit the fuck out of myself. Like, that's what I did. I gaslit myself because I was like, oh, I can afford it, I'm making money. Like, yeah, technically monthly payment wise, my bills versus my income was good. However, when you factor in debt, credit card payments, student loans, personal loans, collections, hello, credit scores, I'm sorry, but you can't afford it. If you're someone who, you know, you make good money and you're like, I just need to make more money and then I'll be in a better position, don't gaslight yourself. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't do it. You gotta fix your spending habits. You gotta start tracking your expenses. Like, don't just be buying whatever you can because you make money. No, you don't. But don't worry. If you're like, how am I supposed to stop spending when every other video I see, every other influencer I follow wants me to spend money? That's what I'm here for. I encourage good spending habits. Budgeting. We budget over here. Invest in quality items. Like, don't get me wrong. We invest. We have expenses. We have good skincare, good clothes, all that good stuff. But God forbid, are we gonna be overspending just to get the latest butter yellow top? Be so for real, you don't need it. Pay off your credit cards and have a good day.
Some ways that me and my husband save money while also living very comfortably on one income. First thing is we limit the amount of subscriptions we have. We have a YouTube TV subscription and I pay monthly for iCloud storage, but it's like $2.99, so it's not bad at all. Not having all these different streaming services has saved us a ton of money. Another thing we do to save money that has literally saved us thousands over the years has been car payments. My husband both drive older cars. I have a 2015 Honda CR-V and my husband has a 2015 Jeep Wrangler, and we're in a very blessed position to say that our cars are paid off, and just cutting out the car payment alone has saved us so much money. I'm like, cannot stress this enough, like to the point that we cannot even imagine buying a new car. Would never buy like a brand new car. We've already talked about like if we did want to get a new car, we would trade in our old cars and then get a used car. I have always been the one to say, as long as it gets me where I need to go, I don't really care what I'm driving. Another thing that saves us a ton of money is nails. I do not get manicures anymore. Sometimes I will on special occasions, like my birthday. I always go get my nails done. At our wedding and our honeymoon, I went and got my nails done. But I do my nails at home, and I think they look pretty good. I think they look cute. I usually buy like the $7 press-ons. I recently invested in a gel manicure kit, and that has saved us a lot of money because every time I would go to the nail salon, it would be like $50 to $60, and that is just too much. Another thing we do to save money is use coupons. I would be lying if I sat here and told you that we didn't eat out, because we do. We love to go eat out. It's one of our favorite things to do together. We get a lot of coupons sent to our house in the mail. We take advantage of that. The way we save money is by shopping at Aldi. Aldi is key to saving money on groceries, too, because me and my husband are very particular about the type of food we buy. We try to buy organic and dye-free food just because we believe that's what's best for us, and it saves us a ton of money. If you want a part 2 on how we save money while living comfortably on one income, just comment down below. See you guys later, and happy budgeting.
I live below my means by budgeting. Here's how. Before I started my debt-free journey, the idea of budgeting sounded terribly boring, but now I realize how awesome it is and how much peace of mind it brings me. Because I budget, I know how much money I bring in each month and how much I spend. But the best part about budgeting is that I feel in control of my finances because I literally tell my money where I want it to go. Let me explain. I get paid every 2 weeks. On payday, I pull up a simple Excel spreadsheet and write down how much money was in my paycheck at the top. Then below it, I write down all of the bills and things I have to pay for between then and my next paycheck. Things like my rent, groceries, gas, and internet. I also make a category for fun so that every paycheck I can spend a little money on the things that bring me joy. Lastly, I make a category for savings. Once I've figured out how much money I have left over after I pay all of my bills and put money aside for fun, I typically put the remainder toward my savings. Right now, I'm saving for my wedding in early 2026. Then, when I get paid in 2 more weeks, I do the process all over again. I use a really simple Excel spreadsheet for my budget because it's what works for me. Also, no 2 weeks are the same. Sometimes I have to pay for therapy, gifts for others, or travel, for example. But no matter what, I try my best not to spend more than what I'm bringing in. This budgeting strategy may not work for everyone, but it's what's worked for me the last several years and helped me pay off $60,000 of student loan debt. Do you budget? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to follow Imperfect Taylor for part 8 of how I live below my means.
My husband and I try our best to live below our means, and these are a few areas that we definitely like to save money on. I've had this palette for over 6 years, and I've had this one for about 3 years. I really try not to buy too much makeup, and if I do, I usually stick to drugstore. Castile soap diluted, this bottle lasts me forever, and I always buy bulk shampoo and conditioner. Another way that we like to save money is by working out at home. We have adjustable dumbbells, a kettlebell, and a bench. Most of this we got off Facebook Marketplace, so we definitely saved in that area. Gym memberships can be expensive, so this saves us a lot of money. And we live in a small space, and we still are able to make it work. Another thing that we do is eat from home. This is pretty obvious. If I ever go to the grocery store and I see that meat is on sale, I will stock up on it because we are big protein eaters and meat is very expensive. So having a freezer full of options makes dinners a lot easier to plan out throughout the month. We have a dog, and some areas that we like to save money with him is by breaking his treats in half. He doesn't notice and he still loves them. We also don't buy him new toys. We keep his old toys and just wash them and keep them as long as we can. I also don't like to get my nails done because it's way too expensive, so I just paint my toenails and it usually works out fine. I also try not to upgrade bedding as often. I have had this comforter set for 4 years now. It has a hole in it, obviously you can see, but I still like it. I may upgrade this summer after we pay off our debt, but right now it works just fine. I always laugh because I have this throw pillow that I put on top of it that I've had for 3 years, and it's missing a tassel on it, but every time I look at it, it makes me smile. But yeah, that's how we save some money. I think one of the scariest things that we can do with our money is blow every single penny and end up broke, and that's something that we see way too often. Living below our means brings so much peace into our life, and honestly, we don't mind it. We still have fun, we still enjoy our days, and yes, we still go out to do things on occasion. It doesn't mean we're trapped, and it doesn't mean that we live a boring life. We are putting so much monthly towards our debt, and it sucks watching it go down the drain, but we know once it's done, all that extra cash will be ours to use for whatever we want. Our goal is to be debt-free by August 15th of this year. If we can do that, great. If not, at least by the end of August is the ultimate goal. After that, we plan to rebuild our emergency savings back up to $30,000 by October, and if we can do that, then we're really going to be setting ourselves up for the next year. We are so beyond ready to be debt-free.
Our bank account overdrafted the other day, but we almost made $300,000 this year, like our yearly household income before taxes. How did that happen? I have a serious spending issue, and I, one, want to be held accountable, and two, need to be held accountable. So I'm going to come on here, I'm going to start budgeting. I'm going to share a breakdown of like our bi-weekly paychecks, where this money is being divvied up, where the money is being spent the most, and go from there. We don't have any big major debts. We do have 2 mortgages right now, which hopefully will change soon if we can get this one house sold. We have 2 car payments. My son is in daycare, and then we also have a camper payment. So that's what we're looking at right now. I want to be more intentional, and I just want to be better. I spend all this money not on big luxury purchases. Like the most expensive thing I've ever bought myself was like a Bay suitcase package, like the thing, both of the suitcases. But it's just a lot of little purchases, and they add up very quickly. Multiple $100 Target trips, multiple $100 TJ Maxx trips. I think my husband said we have spent like 120% of our income the past few months, which is crazy. Moving forward, I get paid on Monday, so before Monday I'm going to do a video breaking down our monthly expenses and where the money from my paycheck is going to go. So I want to be held accountable, and I need to be held accountable.